Hello boss, what's up? What's up? Welcome to a new video. And in this video, let's talk about how to not get influenced by your peers' decisions. So, this is like a topic that I really wanted to make a video about because I had been through this phase like quite recently. Uh, like speaking like personally, because most of my friends and like close friends, they were going abroad for masters, and so it's like in the final year of your engineering, most of your friends, uh, all of them like majority of them are leaving for their masters, going abroad, and though you have like a thorough vision or clarity regarding what you actually want to do, but still there were instances wherein you had certain doubts if you were actually following the right if you were actually on the right track or not, because most of them were taking decision A, and you're doing like something else and something that doesn't fit the norm, right? And yeah, I mean, I had to ponder on this topic like for a couple of times, because I'm like I think even I'm getting influenced by my peers. I don't want to lie that no, I was never like influenced by their decision, right? So definitely, even I had a couple of doubts regarding on couple of doubts on my own further plan or vision, right? But then every time I thought about thought about taking the other decision, some of the other thing did not like align, because uh, I mean, the grandeur of your vision, right, that you have for yourself, I think that'll override pretty much every other decision that you will be taking, but you will not be completely satisfied with that. Let me elaborate if that was a little bit cryptic. So, as the title of this video tells, how basically like how did I figure out what do I actually need to do, and despite people around me doing one or the other thing, how did I remain sane, and how did I stick to my decision, right? So, I mean, first step one is definitely don't blame yourself for confusion. If you're confused, and if you keep changing your decisions continuously, even after you arriving at one decision, then you again go back, you make another decision, you're still not satisfied with that thoroughly, because you keep changing decisions, and ultimately you know that even if you start action A, you'll again go back to that say like action B or action B that you are not like thoroughly confident about, but you still keep going back to that action B, right? So the main purpose of this is that you haven't figured out the core purpose or the central purpose or vision that you have to set for your life. So don't blame yourself for confusion. I would say instead of uh, analyzing the decision that you need to make uh, for a particular thing, I would first ask you to set yourself or discover that vision that you need to create for yourself, right? That you have for yourself. So once you are very, because this particular topic of setting a vision for yourself, and yeah, coming up with that vision, you don't come up with that, man. It's always there in you. It's always there in you. You've just not heard that voice. You've just not sat with yourself and given that thought, or given that given that the actual time that it actually requires. It's like there's this one person that it's always talking to you. You've never really heard that person, right? So do that first. Talk to that person, understand that vision, and it'll definitely take a lot of months, man. Lot of months. You'll go back and forth. Oh, you'll hate yourself for some decisions or thoughts, choices, but you'll have to at any cost. You'll have sleepless nights. You'll wake up in the middle of the night figuring out what am I supposed to do, but make sure you stay at it, because the earlier you figure out what you need to do, and as I told in my previous video that 60 to 70% in your life of your life has to be planned. You need to have a vision, you need to have a roadmap how you're going to achieve that vision, right? And 30% you need to go with the flow. Otherwise, I would say the longer you actually like take to figure out your central purpose or vision, the more you'll start deviating from it. And once you realize that, oh, this is my vision and now I want to get back to that, then there'll be lot many variables in your life that will not allow you to go to that particular vision or achieve that particular way of life, despite of you wanting to achieve that. So the sooner you figure it out, the better it's going to be for you. So step one is, don't blame yourself if you're confused, because as someone actually pointed out to me when I was confused, if you're confused, that means you're thinking about your life. That means you're actually thinking about something, not your life, man. Any topic. If you're confused about something, that means you're actually thinking about it, rather than a fool or someone who's just been blindsided and who's just accepted something and never really given a thought about what his or her actions are going to do, right? So critically examine. I mean, I don't see people, like lot many people, critically analyzing all the decisions, right? All the pros, cons, and finding flaws in your own decisions, finding what are the possible outcomes, being very neutral about your decision, and listing down all the pros and cons. So do that. Be a critical thinker. Nerd it out about your life. When it comes to you, you need to be a biggest nerd about your life, right? So yeah, that is step one. First, figure out the central purpose of your life, because this is connected to step two, right? So step two is basically, once you figure out that central theme or central vision of your life, right? Start placing decisions that lead you to that. This particular point will give you a lot of clarity. So if you have achieved step one, if you're very clear with the outcome of step one regarding what you actually want to do, right? Now any decision that you'll be taking should be very closer, or should lead to your central purpose or your central vision of your life. If any decision that you'll be taking in retrospect doesn't align with the central vision, then you shouldn't take that decision, is what I've been able to come up with, right? So this is probably my two-step framework to take any decision. So I assess a situation, I critically think about it, and if that particular decision, if it's gonna lead me to my central vision, then I'm gonna take that decision. Otherwise, I'm not gonna do it, no matter what, because the first reason why I'm not gonna do that is I have the answer that it's not gonna lead to my particular vision, right? You should never take any decisions that will not lead you to your final destination or your final vision. So I mean, this is a very easy two-step framework, but trust me, only if people actually take this video seriously, right? Trust me, you're gonna be proud of yourself that you came up with a central vision for yourself, and now any decision that you'll be taking will definitely lead you to that central vision. So I hope many people start thinking about their lives and start coming up with action items for your particular lives, right? Because nobody is going to do that to you. Nobody is going to do that to you. So, and I know, figuring out the central vision, purpose, I don't know, man. Like, let's not put these jargon, whatever these terms, but let me put it in an even simpler way. Figuring out what you want to do, that you don't mind doing, probably when you think about in your 40s or 50s or 30s, right? This is something that you should be doing, or this is something that you should work on. So yeah, make a path for yourself. evaluate everything, be the biggest nerd about your life. It's really fun thinking about yourself, thinking about your decisions, thinking about its purpose, and coming up with that, and having that inner battle or inner conflict whenever you know, man, you know when that vision is actually yours. You can lie to yourself that, oh, I actually enjoy doing this, but you yourself know that you don't. And your inner thing, or whatever you call it, your soul knows that you don't actually enjoy doing that. So the sooner you come up with that and start working towards that, the more happier you're gonna be. Trust me when I tell this. So with that, I end the video. I hope you got a clarity. So once you take that decision that's closer to your life and get out of this rat race, right? A lot of us don't even realize that we are actually in a rat race. I mean, think about it, right? So, for example, at least speaking in the Indian context, all of us probably uh, yeah, we complete our school, and someone in ninth or 10 talks about their preparation for uh, their preparation to get into a good college, and we follow the same. We enroll ourselves in tuitions, and once that is done, we get into this whole race of JE mains or whatever, IIT JE and JE advanced and NEET. So then we get into our grad school, undergrad, whatever, be it engineering or doctors. So if you, then we work in a job because that's the, whatever, that particular job aligns to the economy right now. For example, right now the world mostly mostly moves through internet or software, right? So everybody, like all of us, then start working in a software company. So if you look at all these aspects, right, I would say right from your childhood to up to probably your undergrad, or I would say up to your pre-university, everything is conditioning or something that our parents want us to do. Because I mean, they're not to blame at all. They'll, because we won't be having that maturity to think critically about what we want to do, right? So at least once we mature, probably after our engineering, we have that clarity, or during our engineering or before our engineering, we have that clarity. Okay, so these are my strengths and these are my weaknesses. So I need to concentrate on the areas that align to my strength and that is economically viable. So you start placing your decisions on these parameters. So yeah, it makes sense. I don't know, the sooner you get out of the rat race and you create your own highway, and you are the only one walking in that peacefully. You don't have anybody to disturb you. You're the only one walking in your own highway, just walking as slowly as possible. This is not a race at all, right? So that's when it feels like you're truly liberated, is what I feel. So aim towards that, uh, and follow this two-step framework. It'll definitely help you. None of your peers or any of their decisions will actually influence you. You will come up with your own decision, and good luck with that.